Well, hello and welcome to the Power to Live Your Vision. I know you're probably asking, where did you guys go? You just get successful and hit the jackpot and ran away from us? No, no, no. It's not quite not quite that happened to us, but we've had some adventures. Hey,
Yeah.
Coach, I'm here with Coach
Hey.
Nathan Ray.
Greetings, everyone. Happy to be here. I made
And
it
we're
back. I
just
made it back all the way from Africa, from Morocco. We
well,
said adventures. You all are going to hear about it.
so he's been traveling and partying and and
Yeah.
leaving Hunchy at the house to work. uh, no, it hasn't really been that. I had knee replacement
Yeah.
really, man, it's really, Nathan. It's been about 7 weeks since we've been on.
What has it? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I have not
Time
been
is
on
the
since my
champion.
surgery.
Wow. Man, and you blink and it really goes by. We have to definitely value time because if you blink in seven weeks, wow, it's
Yeah.
hard to believe. But
Well, I have
yeah.
not been in my office in 7 weeks.
So that's how you
you know,
know.
I have not. I started off in the den from a recliner working and doing stuff, and I finally moved to the dining room table, and then I finally my wife she actually carried monitors and stuff upstairs last night because she just wanted me to get me out of her space. So I'm going,
Yeah.
okay.
All
But
right.
the
Well,
good thing, I was able to get in my car today, and
yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
driving. So that Corvette is low to the ground, but I was able to crawl in there and hit the gas after I had to pay $250 for a battery. I haven't driven
Yeah.
it I haven't driven in about 8 weeks, and I haven't started it up or anything. And so
I
the
told you
battery
I'd come down and take her out.
yeah, I
Remember
didn't
I
hear you say
offered.
that. I didn't hear you say that. But anyway,
I think you
but before
blocked
we
me out.
but before we get kicked off today, we want to take a moment and have a moment of solace. Our program, The Power to Live Your Vision, it incorporates a lot of different things. It incorporates what you see in your life, what you want to be, but that dream and that vision has to come from someone. And I know for Nathan and myself,
Yeah.
our dream and what really the foundation of who we are as people came from a gentleman by the name of Osensei Jan Wellendorf. And the word Osensei means founder, martial artist, 10th degree black belt. I spent 50 years in this relationship with him, and he passed away. So before we start the program today, I just want to take a moment just of silence, just remember Osensei. Well, when we come back and we are talking about influencers and mentorship, and again, congratulations, Nathan. I heard your daughter got married and you took your long
Yeah.
trip. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. It was beautiful.
but she's
Blessings,
doing
Yeah.
well. But that's what we're talking about is influence. I mean, you're telling me about all the things she's been able to achieve, all the things she's
Right.
doing, and we want to talk about mentorship from actually, father's perspective today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did a service on Sunday on Father's Day, and that's what we were really talking about, the fathers and the leadership and the mentorship and those things in with that. And I go back to, we'll connect Mr. Wellendorf because I have no idea where I would be in life if it had not been for Jan Wellendorf to not just step up as a person, but as a 22-year-old couldn't find myself, country boy, for to step up, take an interest. And the first person ever to told me I was good was Jan Willendorf. And that's the sign of a leader who can now, no matter how bad a person, because I have 4 left feet, I don't know what that makes, but someone to believe in you and help to actually help to be able to bring that out. And I know
Yeah.
that you've got some stories with O Sensei.
Yeah.
But but we are his legacy.
Yeah.
We are doing the things that he was doing and Dale Brooks were doing way back when we didn't have technology.
Right.
So I
right.
think that if I had to think about mentorship, I would have to think that Jan Willendorf was my first mentor. That really, you say, well, what about your dad? My dad did a lot of things, a lot of the things for me, but they were different. He did the
Right.
dad things, and a lot of times, dads, they don't really, especially in my generation, they didn't know enough to really tell you. You
Right.
go to work, you come home, you grow old, you die. That
pretty straightforward program.
Yeah,
huh?
Hey, listen here, we're not going to cut any corners. But first book he ever gave me to read was Think and Grow Rich. I still have a copy of that book. So that's the kind of influence that he gave me. Was
Wow.
the first book was Think and Grow Rich, and
He gave you the big book.
Napoleon Hill, Silva training. He had all this here library of knowledge and information, and he shared that. And that's what we have to do as mentors. Really have to share that. And as instructors, we do share that. But as mentors, we really want to take that seriously because, we can now make the difference in the positive growth of a person in role modeling or the negative growth in a person. So every leader influences someone. Now, you can even be a bad leader, and of course, you have that influence. So leadership begins with servicing others. And why young people need more guidance, leaders have to be there to be able to help provide that. They need it even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right, Hanji. I mean, my head is so full of things, and thinking back and remembering the mentorship and the guidance of all of you all, because you all were like the generation ahead of me. And I remember, and the cool thing is mentorship comes in all forms. You mentioned a great one, publishing, because you're connecting with people's thought, ideas, and pardon. Excuse me. Woo!
I cannot save you from
down.
here. You're a goner, dude.
Let me slow down. I'm getting excited. No, but you said Think and Grow Rich, and that's a powerhouse. I mean, what a way to get started. And but yeah, I think what you just shared about mentorship is one of the most, mentorship and coaching. I think in some ways it's become kind of a buzzword, and everyone wants to be a coach and everything, but you really need a few elements to be a great mentor. And we found that in Master Wellendorf, Grandmaster Wellendorf was that, that person who could show you what you weren't seeing about yourself. He was seeing it and then able to communicate it and move you. I think that was one of the stories I had shared with you. He just, and you to share with me several stories, but he just had that presence and that way about him that not only he would share information, but because of the well of knowledge that he was coming from, it would actually move you and get you moving and get you into action.
Well, the thing that leaders and mentors, they have to have is accountability. So, if I'm your mentor, then I have to hold you accountable. And
Yes.
see, I'm not your friend. See, and that's
Right.
when people have to
yeah.
know their role of when and what they're actually doing. But when you're in that role of mentorship and you are helping someone up, they need to see the sunshine. They don't need to see the dark and dull days. And that is why you can help person grow, because that person is growing through positivity, being positive. And when you now bring that part of being positive and that energy around them, that is the fuel, the fertilizer it takes for that person to grow. And when you plant them in that fertile soil and give them guidance of what they should be, and in most cases, teaching, with kids and, and parents, your guidance on what your kids should be. Someone may say, well, kids have their own mind. They'll grow up and be what they want to be. But the thing is, if I have an influence, what are the things I'm influencing my children with? Today, I would be influencing my children with a spiritual background so they can know the difference in right and wrong. They can appreciate that difference. So what are the things that you're doing? I know that you're a dad. You got a young one that's coming up, and he's doing a great job, but he's doing a great job of mentoring him with the expectation.
Yes, absolutely. And that's very key, because there has to be vision or you perish. Isn't that how it goes, Hanshi? Where there is no vision, the people perish. And so the
Right.
mentor is helping to clear your glasses off and give you something to aim at and point you towards something. And it's a great relationship, as you said it. I love what you just said, though, because your mentor is not just your buddy, not just hanging around. There's an aim and a purpose, just like for our children. There's a line between I'm your father, I'm your guide, I'm your mentor, and I'm not your friend. That's not my role. So, and it's okay. I mean, it's supposed to be. Can you imagine?
Well, no, that they are your friend, but a mentor has to know the difference where they can lead from.
Okay, I
So
got you.
mentor, I am your friend, but the thing is, you have to, you have to be in that place that you can look at a person objectively and give them advice. Because if I'm your friend, then you may not like what I say to you, and you may get offended.
Okay, I
But
got you.
I'm still your friend, but I'm not your, that buddy. I mean,
Right.
you got to be at that place that you can, that person will be able to hear what you're actually saying as it's like your students, your martial arts
Right.
students.
Right.
We're mentors to them, but we still have to stay in our lane. There's some things we're
Yeah.
not, I mean, and you just have to know, if you run a business as a mentor, I cannot be your best buddy, because you may get mad with me one day, and so I lost the best buddy, and I lost that other part of helping,
Right.
God and being able to direct you.
Yeah, yes, sir. I see what you're sharing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, and that's important to, like you said, know your lane, know where you're operating from, so we can be most effective. And a big part of that as a student too is trusting early,
Mm-hmm.
and also putting yourself in position to receive honest feedback. Because many times a mentor is not going to come outside if they don't know that you're ready for that, and if you haven't given them permission, to
Right.
speak into their life. So I think there's that element too, as a student, you know, being mature enough to say, hey, if you see me going wrong, would you be sure to, there has to be that that you're giving them that permission to be free to do that, in a way, I think. So yeah, so I think that's big too.
And then you have, because I know for myself, I wasn't a very talented person, in my early years of my martial arts. I had four left feet, and the bag beat me up. But we have the difference in what I think that O Sensei, when we look at that situation, and as I look at it, I think he looked at my character,
Yeah.
because I was a person of truth. I was a person of character. At that, and even at that time, I had a spiritual background, and so those things begin to share too. Then you look at character over talent. You may not be the best, and I can look at
Exactly.
the person and say that I want to help you to become better.
Right.
You're not able to shoot the hoops. They wouldn't even let me be the water boy. They wouldn't even let me on the football field.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, sir.
No, that is actually true. That is true.
I remember coming into the tournament, my first tournament ever, and seeing you on the floor going for it, man. But that's a form of, we were talking about different forms of mentorship, and that's being the example, being an example and inspiring, even from a distance. We inspire. I got inspired, man. I was like, oh, I see my future right there. That's what I want right there. But I think a big part that you just mentioned too is, you not only see the physical part, but you feel you feel the character, you feel the spirituality, that you see something of a light that you want to reach towards and that you want to step towards. So it's definitely more than the physical thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure our mentors see that. I see it in my students all the time.
Right.
I can see where they're headed way before they ever have a notion or a clue. And sometimes they're shocked and surprised at some comments I'll make because they don't see it in themselves yet.
And that's why I said, the thing about, accountability. That's right. Because you owe me what? Is that 50 push-ups?
About 100 push-ups today.
I demonstrated that today.
I will get my 100 tonight.
Listen, I'll be in Raleigh on Monday, so I'll collect them on Monday. But that's what I'm saying is that we're in a unique and special relationship. A lot of love, a lot of caring.
Yes, sir.
But I see the talent that you have and want to be there to be able to support. And so again, you got that your character is unquestionable. Your talents and ability. Now you're hanging around people from the $1 Million Club and all these different things that you're doing.
Blessings. Yeah.
And I can see you growing. But that's the reason why discipline and consistency is so important. So
absolutely.
We're still talking about mentorship here. So if you're going to be a mentor, then your mentee, you have to have that discipline that they're going to be doing what you said that you need to be doing, and you're going to be doing what you tell them that you're going to be doing. And the consistency makes it easy. It's when you're in relationships that doesn't have consistency. This is where you have problems.
Yeah, that's a big key. Yeah, right there. That's really big. And going back to the word you used earlier, accountability. Just that accountability tied to that consistency. So, wow. Yeah, we've already got some big ones to make notes on them. Grab my piece of paper and my notebook here.
Get your paper down.
Yeah, read it. And read and review and do.
Don't worry. I'm gonna call you on it. Don't worry about it. I got you covered.
Yeah. But that's because you're good. That's because you're a great mentor. That's it right there.
And again, again, and when you're helping people and guiding people, I don't want money. Money couldn't buy what I can give. Respect,
priceless,
and those things,
priceless.
But money couldn't buy what I give. So that's the reason why, when anyone that we're working with, we want to have that approach that we're there because we see through their eyes, we live through their eyes, and we have a high expectation. And when we think about having a mentor, you have to think about that person who's leading by example. So it's not, I'm not able to tell you something and you look over there, see me doing something totally different. I'm not able to do that.
So there has to be alignment.
Yes, there has to be an alignment, because you got to be able to lead. But if I'm telling you, well, Nathan, if you do this, this, and this, then you can have this. But and maybe it's dealing with wealth and prosperity. So if I'm telling you, you do these things, but you don't see me accomplishing it, So that makes it really difficult for you to want to be able to follow. So,
Yeah.
everything I share are things that I've already experienced. I can tell you whether they work or won't work. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean people shouldn't try them. They can have their own straight own feeling from it. But
Right.
leading by example, if I tell you about, wealth, prosperity, but you come to see me, you come to my home, and you don't see that because, as human, we still need to see those tangible things.
Right.
We
Right.
still need to see those tangible things. And if then you can say, well, okay, I want that, or I want to be like that. And the more
Yeah.
things that you can actually do, the more things I can do as a mentor to share with you. And I may say, well, listen here, Nate, I think, listen, this is, I think you really need to take a look at this and to do this, because I'm looking down the road. I'm not looking at this very moment. I'm looking down the road. And your
Yeah.
mentor should have foresight to see and be able to see the things that you're going to have troubles with,
Well,
because
I mean,
you've
yeah.
been there.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, sir. And just kind of playing off of that from the other perspective, what is the point of getting in a mentor relationship and a coaching relationship if you're not going to listen? It's like
You're
it's
fired.
futile. Yeah. And eventually your mentor is not going to be your mentor because you're not doing your part, you're not stepping up. And I think a big part of that goes to what you just alluded to, because when we see the things, we see the example, we see the success, the whole time those are trust building moments. I think Stephen Covey wrote a book, or one of the Coveys wrote a book called The Speed of Trust. And the quicker, as a mentee, the quicker we can trust our mentors and trust in that knowledge, and then, like you said, move out and have our own experience with that knowledge, and then we actually get the results. That trust continues to build and build. The longer it takes us to trust, the slower we are with our trust in that relationship, then I think it slows the process a little bit. What's your take on that?
Well, trust is everything. As I said, I have to study people. Now you see now see you just into it. Hunchy standing off, as my wife would said, I'm standing off, I'm just looking at everybody, everybody's going like, Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are? You're never going to get me. I'm just standing watching people, trusting
Yeah.
someone. I mean, I trust God, I keep
Yes.
my eyes on
Yeah.
everybody else, but that was, I bet, I don't know if I should have really said that out loud, but hey, let me tell you, if you don't want the truth, you probably shouldn't ask me. But
Right. No,
anyway,
no, we need the truth. And that's a big part of this whole thing, because I was also reading a really great book I mentioned to you, U Squared by Price Pritchett. And it's a very
mm-hmm.
small book, but in there it talked about having incremental changes is one thing, but that we can actually square our results and have exponential growth. But one of the things we get to do is accept uncomfortability of change. And I think what a mentor brings to us a lot of time is shifting gears in our mindset so that we can actually go into action and do that, which is do the uncomfortable thing, do the thing we haven't fathomed yet. We haven't quite processed it yet, but our mentor, like you said, has that long range vision, has a different perspective that they're coming from, and that a big part of that is accepting change and embracing what's uncomfortable, like working with, like you mentioned, working with Master Oliver and Master Smith, and where they're coming from and what the goals are, with that. I felt like I was in chaos for a few weeks. I'm shifting things in the school and, implementing new ideas. And then it's like, oh man, this is totally out of my comfort zone. And but then I had to shift my language too. That's a big one. I got to shift my language because there's no such thing as casual conversation, casual words. They're very powerful. Words are so powerful. That's one thing that I'm really embracing, because even in humor and all those things, it can be a catastrophe. You can be tearing down everything that you're trying to build up by being loose with the words that we speak and choose. So, yeah.
Wait, so here's 5 ways to influence the next generation. The first is be present. So you got to be, you cannot influence anyone if you're not present. And Nathan, what you were saying, that if you can have a kid that you like, and you can try to direct him through your mistakes, but I believe that that being a mentor is about you being excited about your own self and your own growth. Now, I tell little Johnny what he needs to do, but I don't do it. Little Johnny will find out I'm lying pretty soon. So you want to be able to do that. And then what you want to do, when we think about these 5 ways to influence the next generation, is be present. Be present in your children's lives. If you see a kid that maybe doesn't have a dad, or then that person needs help, so you do have to be careful in situations that you get permissions and all these things before you start sharing information with somebody's child and trying to influence that child, because that parent may not want them influenced. That's sad, but they may not be. Number 2, listen before leading. You listen to a person before you begin to lead or tell them what to do. You got to be able to hear. You have to be a good leader is a good listener. So I don't have to tell you. And that's why Mr. Wellendorf was great. He was a good listener. And generally things, if I said something that didn't make any sense to him, he would give me a look, or he would just say, "Why would you want to do that?" Back in the day, having a gold tooth, was a thing. I remember telling him, I'm thinking about getting me a gold tooth. I remember him looking at me going, "Why would you want to do that?" I didn't say anything else about the gold tooth anymore.
That was enough.
Oh no, man. He only yelled at me once in that 50 years, and he only hit me once in that 50 years. I made sure he would never hit me again. I trained to be quicker, faster, and I was always wanted to be in place. But see, that's the thing about having a mentor. As a mentee, you want to learn from that person. So I'm not pulling anybody to success. I'm not dragging anyone up a hill, but if you want to come along, that's great. And then you have to live what you teach. If I tell you something and I'm not living it, it would make no sense to me. Yeah. So I have to.
It wouldn't even resonate.
Right,
people have BS. Your BS-ometer is always working. So it wouldn't even register. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly right. So you got to feel that person is in that very comfortable place in their own lives. You can see things in their lives. You go, okay, I'd like to have that in my life. Will you teach me how to get that in my life? Then you have to encourage growth through challenge, and that's what I try to do, with all of you guys, is trying to find something better for you. That's why I said, if I don't know it, then let me turn you on to someone that has that information that they can help you improve and help you be better. And then you want to build confidence by believing in each other. So if you don't believe in me and I don't believe in you, then that's just downhill. So you got to be able, I got to be able to, whatever you tell me is because I'm going to make my next move off of what you say. So be on time, Nathan.
Yes, sir. Got it.
All right. So,
no excuses, no alibis.
Yeah. So, we're going to get ready to wrap up here. So we're giving everybody some things to think about. And again, we've been off for about almost 8 weeks here. So just coming back on, want to share with you some things. Hey, life is ever changing, and life is whatever you make of it. So you want to make the best of your life. This podcast is brought to you by Elite Publications. Everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. Nathan and I, we have a book coming out real soon here. And I guess what the name of the book is. The name of the book is The Power to Live
Live Your Vision.
Right.
And we got a website too.
And that's right. We have and check out our new website. You can go over, and that's the name of the website, powertoliveyourvision.com. I think it's
now, is
.com.
It the power or power to live your vision?
I don't know, Nate. You got to Google it now. It's been 7.
You'll find us.
It's been 7 weeks since I've been over there, and you want to put me on the spot.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You want to put me on? No. You're going to have to Google it.
More push-ups.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let's make sure we got it.
All right.
We're gonna make sure we got it.
I'm gonna keep talking. You do the Google.
Yes, I got you.
I'm gonna give you an assignment. That's bad. 7 weeks off. My battery dies in my car because I haven't cranked it. I thought I was gonna be able to get by that $250 he wanted to charge me, so we cranked the car up and it was running. And this guy, he's trying to sell me a battery. So it was running for a few minutes. I turned it off, and I'm going to crank it back up because if it cranked up, man, you're not getting my $250. It didn't crank up, so he won. Yeah. He got my $250, but
that's good investment. Great investment. You got
AAA that came in and dropped it in for me. So what's my answer, Nathan?
The definite article, The Power to Live Your Vision.
I knew I was right.
Yes. Yes, you had it. Of course, you had it. .org. That's the one.
All right. So everybody check out, what we've got going on. If you got any questions, let us know. If you got a topic you want to talk about, let us know. We're both
for sure
coaches, goal success coaches and life success coaches. And it's not too much we haven't experienced, and God has blessed us to be able to be on the other side of it. So
very blessed.
They can share some information with you. So just let us know. And again, check out the website, follow us, share us with your friends. And any last words from you, Nate?
No, just everyone. I think when you listed those points, that's really great guidance and a great way. I would just say go back and listen to the podcast. Always come on and take notes and review those notes, but then do something with it. I really like what you shared about listening and the power of listening, slowing down. And so for me, that's at the top of my list, work on my listening. So that's what I'm doing. So just pick something and just start. Don't wait, just start. So we're excited you're with us, and we look forward to you all continue the journey.
And remember, everyone, you don't get too powerful that you cannot learn and listen. We're both 10th degree black belts in the martial arts, but we're both still students. Every day we're learning something. We learn from each other. We go out and find new information and we bring it in. So, if you feel that, well, I don't want to listen to you guys, I'm above you guys, so you probably shouldn't listen, but if you find that you want to have something that you want to move forward, that's what we're about. We're about moving forward. There's no retreat. Just moving forward and making the world a better place. All right, Nathan. Listen, man. I'm gonna be in Raleigh on Monday, so I'm gonna make sure I swing by to check you out.
Great.
Now, give me a schedule.
Can't wait.
I'm ready. My next phase is getting back out and start teaching. So set me up with a class.
We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, man. If I can get in my car, it is over. I am
congratulations back. Congratulations on the recovery, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about that.
I got a book coming out about it.
There you go. There you go. How to and it's dealing with knee replacements and recovery, because yours has been really really miraculous. I mean, you really bouncing back, but you're putting in work and you're doing the right things. And the great part about it is you're going to share it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to share with the world. Tell you things you need to know before you do it.
That's going to be a key chapter, right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to share with you the real deal.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Talk to you, Nathan. All right, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Be
Thank
blessed.
you all. Yes, sir.